Every single person needs to go watch this speech right now. Everyone is saying that this is top 5 best political speeches of all time. It has nothing to do with brainworms or bears or anything. This is about the truth, something that we all desperately need to hear. So this is where you can find it on X. You can go right to his profile, and it's also on YouTube. If you go to his profile on YouTube, it's this video. I promise you won't regret it. As you've probably heard by now, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. suspended his campaign. As a Kennedy supporter myself, I do want to give you a message whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or a Kennedy supporter. Democrats, you probably feel like this was the plan all along. Here's the thing though, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was simply the victim and the perpetrator was the DNC. Kennedy and his VP Nicole Shanahan got in this race to win. Keep in mind, they are both former Democrats. Kennedy was literally in tears making this decision today. He did not make it lightly. And he did not say that he agrees with Trump on everything. He very clearly says there are many places that we completely disagree on, but that the DNC has prevented a free and fair election, so he was backed into a corner about this. So Trump is the only one that was willing to hear him out and talk about the chronic disease epidemic, our poisonous food and water and all of that. Trump is the only one that will listen to Kennedy and actually entertain a position in his cabinet. So because of the DNC's actions, his options were be a spoiler or join a team where he could make change as soon as 2025. I understand you're probably extremely angry right now, but I encourage you to go watch his full speech and to really take a look at what your party is doing. Now, Republicans, I know you think this is a huge win. It probably is more for you right now than anyone, but this does not mean all Kennedy supporters are MAGA. We can temporarily find unity if you guys are serious about making America healthy again. But Trump has a history of not following through on his promises. So you will need to help to make sure he keeps his word. And if you are in a deep blue or a deep red state, please consider voting for Kennedy so we can establish a true third party. And Kennedy supporters, my people, already getting emotional. This is what I want to say to you. This is not the end. We have made it through brainworms, bears, and now this. You do not have to be happy about this. You are allowed to feel all of your feelings right now. And this also doesn't mean you just have to hop onto the Trump train. Like I've always said, we should all be proud of our vote on November 5th. If you are in a swing state and cannot bring yourself to vote for Trump, it is okay. If you are not in a swing state, I hope you make history. This movement is just getting started, and really, we have 73 days until the election. Anything can happen. Just hang in there. My message to all Americans, it's time for change. We might not be able to do it with this presidential election, but there are so many more elections that we can kick some ass. It's time we took our power back, and we're going to have to lean on each other to do that. One of the reasons Kennedy got into this race was to unify the country, so it's time for us to do that, and so we can make some real change. I just want to thank everyone for your support, especially as I navigate the future now on what I'm going to do, what kind of content I'm going to put out. But as always, let me know your thoughts about all this, and make sure you're following me for more. Let's just be real for a second. This was pretty historic. Now, as a big Kennedy supporter, I have a lot of people kind of leaning on me and waiting for me to kind of make a decision about how I feel about this, what we should do in the future, and it's a lot of pressure. I never want to make decisions for other people. I want to give you the facts and empower you to make the best decision for you, for your family, for this country. But let me make a couple things extremely clear for everyone. Kennedy is not ending his campaign, he is suspending it. He is pulling his name off swing state ballots. I see this as a business decision. And in business, you get something, I get something back. Now, Kennedy supporters, Trump supporters, we have something in common. The DNC is trying to disenfranchise us. They tried to use the courts to get these guys off of state ballots. So this is the plan that's kind of in the works right now. We defeat our common enemy, which is the DNC. It's not all Democrats. A lot of Democrats are still good people. They still have good values. It's the DNC that is corrupted. So we team up, put Trump in office, and he brings in Dream Team. He brings in Kennedy. He brings in Elon Musk, Tulsi Gabbard, Vivek. And Trump keeps his word. And a lot of Kennedy supporters do not trust that he will. You know what would go a really long way for a lot of Kennedy supporters is if Trump, or at least his following, come out and say, yeah, he made mistakes. And don't give excuses. Don't say COVID or the deep state or this. Just say,
He made mistakes. He dropped the ball. Because I had people yesterday jumping in my comment section saying Trump always kept his word. He always kept his promises. He's great. He's never done anything wrong. That is the mindset that a lot of us cannot stand. No one is perfect. So what we need to do is we need to sit down and say, look, this is what went wrong, and we're not going to let it happen again. We're going to learn from our mistakes. But saying Trump is perfect and never did anything wrong is not helping the situation. So what do us Kennedy supporters get in return for this business transaction? If you are in a deep, deep blue state where it is not going to flip red, we ask you to vote for Kennedy in your state. If we can get 5% of the vote, we can establish a true, amazing third party, which most Americans want, even Democrats. And of course, Kennedy needs a seat at the table. We already talked about Kennedy heading up something to be able to beat the chronic disease epidemic, so Trump just needs to follow through on his promise. So if that all sounds good with everyone, it looks like by the end of September, we're going to create a map where it shows you if you're in this state, please vote for this person so we can make this dream a reality. I am in a swing state, and if I vote for Trump, it will not be because I want Trump. It will be because I want that third party. This is exactly how adults negotiate. As always, let me know your thoughts and make sure you're following me for more.